New Thought Media Network proudly presents The High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour with Reverend Cynthia and Reverend Skip. Fridays at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network.
Hey, what's up? We still got a picture up there. Let's take that down. I want to see your beautiful face. Hey, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the High Five Hour. I'm the giddy Reverend Skip.
Oh, my goodness. And I'm his happy partner in love here, Cynthia.
Yeah, you are. What's happening, sis? How are you?
I'm well, Skip. How are you?
I'm good. You know, I was just thinking as we were going on, I was like, the time that we spend getting on is so sacred. We prayed twice. We had high conscious conversations already. It's like the pre-show before we get on the show. It's like, oh my goodness. Oh, wow. So welcome everyone to the New Thought Media Network. And here we are. We are a network of love, of inclusivity. We're a network to help your spiritual growth. And I always say this, and I will continue to say this. This is a show where I get to have a practitioner session with my favorite practitioner in the world, my dear sister, Reverend Cynthia. What's up, sis? How you living?
I'm living well, I believe. Life is feeling good.
Life is feeling good. What does that mean for you right now? Life is feeling good.
You know what I realized after our last episode? That at one point, all of this felt like a very distant dream to me, that this is what my life could be about.
Wow.
Right. And I think I texted you, I thanked you because it's no longer about survival, right? From day to day. Now I get to explore what my dreams are and how to fulfill them.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. What's good this week? What has happened in your life that's really good this week?
So there's Bali that is coming up, and what I'm noticing is that like I have to continue to deepen into the vibration of love as this trip is organizing itself. So I almost feel like it's cultivating me, growing me already.
Yeah. I remember when I was going out to Florida and Michael Beckwith, I had a quick conversation with him on the phone. He says, you're not going to grow the ministry is going to grow you. And I feel like this is that trip of especially planning, and you know, we're doing another planning meeting on Sunday, and you know, information meeting. I see you growing. I see you growing.
It's amazing to think. Do you remember in ministerial school how shy I was and how hard it was for me to get up and deliver a talk, even in front of my classmates?
And now you're doing sacred travels to Bali. Look at you.
And a podcast with you.
Exactly. Denise is on today. Hey, Denise, how are you? Good morning. Good morning. And we also have Mary Ann Lockhart on with us this morning as well. We welcome you into the space. Mary Ann, good to see you. It's awesome. So in feeling the vibe, what has come up for you? And I'm very curious about this. I'll talk about my feeling the vibe, because I've had ups and downs, and feeling the vibes. What has been like your I guess your biggest insight from this week about feeling your vibes?
I guess the allowing myself to feel what I'm feeling as I'm witnessing what I'm witnessing, and then finding a way to get myself back to center, back to peace.
Ooh. Back to center, back to peace. Oh my goodness. Oh my. I got to tell you, my vibes that what I'm feeling right now in my vibes, I'm trying to figure out how do we break up with Amazon. And I'm saying it right now. I'm saying it live that I'm doing the Amazon blackout, literally the Amazon blackout. I'm wearing my black t-shirt, and that begins like this week to the end of the month. And, it's kind of already began with me. And I was so interesting because I went to order my vitamins. In fact, I have them underneath my chair right now. I'm going, I need my vitamins. And what do? Automatically, I go, and I saw myself click and went, hold up. Nope. I need to go to my local store,
Yes.
and I need to really start to supply and work with my local vitamin stores. There are places all through LA. I live in LA. We got
Yeah.
mom and pop, shops everywhere.
Right. You have Erewhon, you have so
And
many stores.
everyone, I exactly. We have there's this other one that's in Leimert Park. I
Mhm.
can't remember the name right now. If someone knows the name, just shoot me a text or drop it into the feed right now. Denise says, in 40 days of no Target. Well, I'm not a big Target fan anyway. Um,
Mhm.
but there are other things that too that we are participating in this blackout. And I
Okay.
believe it's really good. Some people are arguing, well, we can't really make a difference by, I say we can. In
Yeah.
fact, that's where we're going to make a difference. So is it activism with our dollars?
I agree, and I feel like it's multifaceted because it's been like a time-saving convenience, right? To order everything online and not physically go to the stores. So I feel like we'll get into a healthier way of living by taking time away from working
Yeah.
and right and physically going to these locations to get what we need.
And interacting. I saw someone on Instagram posted saying, so I broke up with Amazon, but I got a chance to really find the apothecary that was on the corner that she had passed by all her life and she'd never stopped in. And she got to know the owner
Wow.
and they became friends. She got to know her local hardware store owner. They
Mhm.
became friends. So it's something so divine about this, you
Right?
know?
There's connection, I think, that wants to occur here.
This is that thing that's seeking to emerge, that greater thing that's
Mhm.
seeking to emerge, why all this is going on
Mhm.
again,
Always something.
always. It's yeah, it's a powerful time. Um, like, okay, have you cut off your news feed coming down your phone? Have you
I
cut it off?
as
Or
much
do
as
you get
right? As much as I can because it's like every little ding, my nervous system goes like
this morning I'm in the bathroom, got it. I'm brushing my teeth and I'm running a little bit late, getting on with you, and I get this ping, and I went, "Oh, am I going to look at it?" And Spirit says, "Don't look." And it's like just keep doing what you're doing so you get online. And of course, what I do is I go look, and the first thing was Trump does this, and I'm like, really, really, but that is all about feeling the vibes, and I understand. Listen, some people say insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, trying to get a new result.
Mhm.
I heard this, which really rings to me. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over and over again, and you know the result you're going to get, but you do it anyway.
It's
That's insane.
which is why it's great that we're going to be talking about the mind today.
I know, I know, I know. That's exactly it. So, well, we welcome you into this space, and this is your first time. This is the New Thought Media Network. This is the High Vibe Hour, and again, I'm Rev Skip. I'm having
Reverend
a great
Cynthia,
time. Yes, we're having a great time. So, we're talking about the mind. The mind's a powerful thing.
right? But it's meant to be an instrument, right, for the soul.
Yeah. What do you think the purpose of the mind is?
So we're mind, body, spirit. Yes,
Hmm.
we're mind, body, spirit. But the body and the mind are here to be in support of the soul and its purpose.
Right.
But because of the nature of the mind, it got behind the driver's seat and hijacked, right? The
Ooh.
experience.
I love
Not
that word hijack.
it
I love that word. You done hijacked me, mind. Gi- give me my soul back. You done hijacked me.
right. It ran away with the vessel, with the vehicle. And it's like, racing down the 405. And it's like, get back here.
I love it. I love it. And remember what was that commercial years ago? I would date myself. A mind's a terrible thing to waste.
Yes.
And I somewhere some comedian said, and a mind is a terrible thing. It can be. It can be if it's running the show.
Correct. right? So the mind is addicted to problem solving, right?
Mm,
It never wants to be unemployed, so it's always looking for problems to solve,
right.
right? It doesn't want to get laid off, it doesn't want to get fired. So it thinks that it has to continue to find things to solve.
You got jokes today. Mine doesn't want to get laid off. I love it. The mind doesn't want to lose a job. Like a federal worker. The mind doesn't want to lose a job.
Right? Oh, it has a field day with all of the headlines right now in the news.
Oh, you know it is. You know it is. It's the mind wants the mind's already worked out the issue. My
Uh-huh.
mind already knows exactly what it needs to happen. It has worked out the issue, and it's like, and ain't nobody's listening to my solutions but me. Reverend Cynthia, ain't nobody listening to nothing but me.
Right.
But I solved the world, y'all. I've solved the world.
Right. It's also like addicted for patterns,
Yeah.
right? It does that too. And I think, but here's the thing. The ego and the mind have gotten a bad rap over the years to
Mm.
where people want to do away with it. But it's only caused the mind to become even more hyper vigilant
Yeah.
because it's like, well, not they do see, I was right. I was right. They want,
Mhm.
and we actually
Mhm.
have to learn how to befriend it and get it to settle down.
I remember one of your teachers. I guess she's my teacher too, but you're in contact with Sue Mortar, and you have that. She is your mentor teacher, and she's a teacher for me. But I remember her saying one time that only the ego wants to eradicate the ego.
Exactly.
I'm like, when you think about what the ego really wants to do, and it's wants to eradicate itself because it wants to protect us.
Mhm. That's basically all it's trying to do. So let's say that at the beginning of humanity, it was designed to prevent us from walking off a cliff,
Right.
right? It was designed to get us to hightail it out of an area if there was danger, if there was a tiger, if there was a dinosaur, right?
Hmm.
And now we no longer have those scenarios, but it's still just as hyper vigilant.
It wants a job.
Uh-huh.
It wants a job.
Right. So how do we start to work
Yeah.
with it? And I actually treat it as if it is a person, as if it is an entity. Uh,
Mm.
but first, I had to start to pay attention to my inner dialogue. Like, what is it saying? Right.
Right. Right.
And boy, was that a shock to the system. To become aware of how often the mind is talking and what it's saying, and then realizing that you're a mean mofo. Like,
My ego is called Little Skip.
little
I,
skip.
I have a name for my ego. It's Little Skip, and what Little Skip is because Little Skip wants a job. Little
Yes.
Skip would be like, "Da-da-da-da-da-da-da." I have to go, Little Skip, I hear you, but right now I'm having a conversation with God, having a conversation with love, having a conversation with the universe. And
Yes.
Little Skip, I know you want to be loved, and guess what? You are loved. I have these conversations all the time.
Mhm. So have they shifted over the years as you've been like tuning in to see what it's saying
Since I named it.
since you
And
named
that see when I gave it a name and I know its personality because the ego is just part of the soul that needs to be loved, which shows up as a personality.
it? Yeah.
And so once we understand that this personality just wants to be loved, it wants
Mhm.
to be heard, it wants to be caressed, it wants to be in a space of I hear you,
Mhm.
then it begins to calm down.
And I feel that we need our personalities. It's part of what gives us our unique flavor, right?
Mm,
But we want to live from the soul, and we want to include the personality, right?
yes.
So
Yeah.
for me, I would imagine my mind as a sock puppet, like with eyes. Talking, and usually I would become aware of what the sock was saying while I was getting ready.
Funny. You are funny today. A sock puppet.
Right. So usually when I'm getting ready, there's all these thoughts that are running across like the ticker tape of my mind. And
Yes.
so if the soul is trying to get some inspirational thought up to my brain so that I become aware of it, the mind would jump, like come across like jaws and like say,
Right.
I need it and take it out of the way. And it's like, hey, but I'm interested in doing that. Stop shutting it down.
Yeah. 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 I just gave you a ticker tape there just so you can see the demonstration. So you can have a practical application of what you're talking about. That's the ticker tape that she's talking about, y'all. Rev Cynthia is talking about the ticker tape that's underneath that says high vibe power. That's it. But I love how deep you're going, and you gave me some great notes before we, this week. And you said this in notes, predicting. How does the mind predict? Because I know how my mind wants to predict. My mind loves to go to the what if game.
Mhm.
What if these people don't like your talk? What
Right.
if the congregation don't like you? What if they found out about your past or whatever it is? What if if this person that you're dating is a maniac? What if? And I began to shift, and we learned this from Michael Beckwith, shift the
Mhm.
what if negative to something positive. What
Mhm.
if this is the greatest experience you could ever have in love? What if this is the greatest job you'll ever have? What if this is the greatest book and everyone's going to read? And I'm going to the what if game with my new book.
Wow.
What if nobody buys this book? And why am I doing this again? And what if this is going to be a big flop? And what if, and I had to begin to play the what if game. What if this is a bestseller? My
Right.
greatest book yet.
Wow. I love that. I love
Yeah.
switching it, flipping it on its head.
Putting on his head.
And I think it was Dr. Sue that said something to the effect of she was talking about success. I
Mm.
took her conscious success program. Um and she said that success is us saying yes to spirit regardless of the outcome. The mere fact that you and I
Mm.
say yes for spirit to come through us and express and create, that action is deemed whole and complete and successful.
Ooh, 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 ooh. See that again?
So, success means to allow spirit to express through you and me, and that action is complete and successful because we said yes,
Mm.
regardless of outcome. Spirit is only looking for a yes. Spirit is only looking for a space to create through, to love through, to share through.
I have an acronym and very similar. The acronym for yes, I love this acronym. It's you expressing spirit. You
Yes.
expressing spirit. And I follow up the teaching with, so what are the divine qualities of spirit? How does spirit show up? Spirit shows up as love,
Mhm.
peace, oneness, prosperity, abundance, infinite possibilities, go on and on and on, beauty, creativity. When we show up and we share these divine qualities, that is our yes.
Mhm.
So everything that we do it from a place of love. Everything we do it to create a space of peace. Everything
Mhm.
we do is to create and be creative. So the yes is us expressing spirit, you expressing spirit.
I love that. That's going to stay with me forever, Skip.
Oh, ta 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 ta.
And when I think back, right, to perhaps us being in ministerial school
Yeah.
and the amount of fright that would run through my body whenever I thought that I had to speak publicly. So that was the mind trying to keep me safe, keep me in what it knew. Don't go over there. That's scary. Don't step into that area of the unknown. We might die.
Mm,
Right. So us stepping into the unknown shows to the mind, reveals to the mind, like, hey, we did the thing you were afraid of, and we're still here.
wow. We're still here.
We're still here.
We're still here, still doing the doggone thing. We're still here.
So now it's no longer afraid of public speaking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also heard this, that when you are nervous before you get up on stage, It's because it's so important to you.
Wow.
And so we get to take that fear and shift it to enthusiasm. Oh, this really, really, really means something to me. So this is why I'm doing this.
That reminds me about Wayne Dyer's quote that says, "Don't die with your music still in you."
Yes.
Right. That
Yeah.
we all came here to deliver our gifts. Reverend Michael says, "You didn't come here to get anything from the world. You came here to share."
Here's what Denise says. She writes into the comments, and y'all remember, you can write stuff in the comments and we'll see it in real time and we'll talk about it. We have a conversation. Denise says this is so on point for me right now. I'm thinking too far ahead. When I give up trying to solve problems or not being in the present, I get panic attacks. Ooh, this is, so many teachings around this that we have learned, and this teaching as well, that when we are in the future, we're in fear, and when we're in the past, we're in regret. I think that's Greg Braden's teaching from the Mandala Being. Fear is future tripping. Regret is regret of the past. And the only power we truly have is in the center of where we are right now. I have another incredible, great mystical teacher, my queen diva, RuPaul. RuPaul says, you have 1 foot in the present, 1 foot in the past. You're pissing on 1 foot in the future, 1 foot in the past. You're pissing on the presents.
Yeah.
Think about that. Think about that.
So here's an exercise that I use to help break that habit for me.
Oh, okay.
All right. So the second that I became aware, so it requires us to come into the body, right? To sense we become aware that we're anxious for some reason, right? So that's a cue that I'm either in the future, or like you said, perhaps I'm dwelling on past memories. So to me, that's an indication that the mind has gotten out of my body and it's somewhere out there in front of me. And then I would reel it back in, like with the fishing pole. I'm like, come here, come.
Get back here.
Get back here. And I would even take it, I would visualize it like as a baby, as a brain, and I would bring it to my heart and I would just start to soothe it. And I would say, I know that you're trying to keep it safe. To stay here on me. You need to stay here with mom. Okay.
I love that. I love that. And how does it react? How does it react from that soothing? How does it react?
I want you guys to try it. When you notice that you're anxious, or if you're feeling depressed or something, you're going to know that you're either in the past or in the future. Your mind has gone out ahead of you or behind you. And so you're going to bring it back to your heart, and then notice how the sensation within the body shifts from anxiousness to almost like a relaxing, a soothing, like, this is all I ever wanted was for you to love me.
Wow. And you can use the breath as well to bring us back to center, right?
Yes, absolutely. Right. Breathing deeply instantly turns off fight or flight. That gets turned on when we go into anxiety and worry. So when we're breathing shallowly, just in the upper portion of the lungs, with which most of our culture does, we don't even take time to breathe deeply. We're in such a hurry. So stopping, if you're feeling anxious, stop. Notice, where's the breath? Is it in the upper portion of the chest? And if it is, just take a deep breath into your belly.
That's beautiful.
And that'll turn off fight or flight.
This is why yoga is so important. This is why meditation is so important. Even if you feel like, because you can't do it wrong, you can't do yoga and meditation wrong. But if you drop into the presence, into the practice, you give yourself the time to stop, be still out of your everyday life. And people are like, oh yeah, I tried meditation, but I don't get it right. There's no getting right. You stopped. You set the intention to be mindful. That's meditation. You come to yoga class and you feel like, well, you're here and you can be in the class, but you have taken time out of the world, out of our everyday life. Stop, come to the yoga mat, stop, be still, give yourself permission to slow down.
Just showing up on the mat, right? Whether you go through all the asanas or not, just the mere fact that you showed up is a success, right? And yoga means union, right? The unification of mind, body, spirit. So how do we get all these three aspects of ourselves on the same team, but with the soul version of it as the lead?
That's powerful. That's powerful. And a lot of times we don't allow the soul to lead the way. We're going back to what we're talking about today, the mind. This is why these practices are so important to us, because we allow the soul to lead the way versus your mind, your stinking thinking. I heard a teacher once say, it's my stinking thinking. And even that is such out of the paradigm that I'm in, because my thinking is not stinking. It's how I use it. You know, my mind is beautiful. I have a beautiful mind.
You certainly do.
We have beautiful minds.
Yes.
We have a beautiful mind, but sometimes even beautiful things need to be cultivated. A flower needs to be cultivated. A lily needs to be cultivated. You know, we need to cultivate the soil. And in some teachings, our mind is the soil of our consciousness. So that needs to be tilled. It needs to be cultivated. It needs to be loved. And how do we cultivate our mind is with our spiritual practices of meditation, of yoga, qigong, of breathing, being present.
I heard somebody say earlier today, I was watching a video, and she was talking about the now moment, but how the now moment actually means eternal, that it gives us access to eternality. So Denise says, thank you. I'm processing a bad car accident and I'm feeling in danger in the presence with transportation. It's my overthinking and not recentering, right? So the body has a memory. The body remembers everything. So especially if it was involved in a car accident, so does the mind. So how can you support both the mind and the body? There's a very simple practice that Reverend Joanne shared with us years ago, and it has stayed with me. She would say that it's the longest 18 inches anyone will ever travel is going from here to here.
Yeah.
So, right. So just imagine and close your eyes and see your mind traveling into your heart, and that'll start to regulate the nervous system.
Hey, Rev, take us through that process before we go to break.
All
Denise,
right.
I want you to be here with us. We're going to go through this together, because I'm sure Denise is not the only person who watches this video later on down the way has gone through some, I call it the trauma of our experience. And we have these memories that keep coming back. So Denise, if you're willing just to go with us in this practice, and everyone else that's online with us, Reverend Cynthia is going to take us through a beautiful practice.
So basically close your eyes. And then I want you to sense your body, scan your body, and see how you're feeling. Are you feeling relaxed? Are you feeling tense? And if not, right, if it's not relaxed, visualize yourself dropping from your mind into your heart, just using your imagination. And then once you come into the heart space, sense and feel what it's like to be in this sacred chamber. For it is said that the divine spark of spirit resides within the heart chakra of all of life. So each time that you and I come into this space, we're enveloped in a field of divine unconditional love. We're always welcomed. We're always embraced and reminded that we are its beloved. And then see how that feels throughout your body. Does it shift the anxiety, the nervousness?
Yeah. Wow, that's beautiful. It's beautiful. One thing that comes up for me is that our practice is only a yes away. When we say, I'm going to practice something different than my fear, doubt, and worry, we give because I don't want to think anymore. I want to feel.
There you go.
Feel, because the mind wants to think.
Yes.
The heart feels the brain needs a vacation.
Hmm.
The mind needs a vacation. So when we go into these spiritual practices and we let the heart lead, we're giving the mind a vacation.
Hmm.
Listen, mind, you're going to come back to work. Mind, you're not out of a job. You're just taking a little vacation.
And you know what else too? We have three
Yeah.
brains. We have three brains within our body, right? We have the one that's in our head. We have the heart that is also a brain. And then we have our gut, which is why we say, I had a gut feeling. So we want to start to live life more so from this brain, which is the heart, or the gut. And this one is like the third one that we go to, right? It should be third in line.
Rev, we're going to go to break, but you said gut, you had that G. I thought you were going to say the one in the groin area. On that note, we're going to go for a little bit of a break. All right, y'all. Peace and blessings. We'll be right back here at the New Thought Media Network. You are in the High Vibe Hour with me and Reverend Cynthia and Reverend Skip. Here we go.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents the High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour with Reverend Cynthia and Reverend Skip. Fridays at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network.
I have so much fun with you.
Me too. I have fun with you.
I'm giddy today because I'm having so much fun talking about the mind. And welcome back, y'all, to New Thought Media Network. Part of this work here that I love is coming up with practices. And Spirit just says, let's take Denise to a practice. And thank you, Denise, for sharing that with us so that we may have our own practitioner session, our own practice. We may dive deep into everything that we're here to do. And that is a shift. We're here to have a shift. And part of this is too that I've learned to do, which I love, is being able to take my mind and use it productively for my own spiritual growth, to create a demonstration. And part of the work that I've been doing is called spiritual visualization, which is different from visioning. Visioning is when we're catching God's highest idea for our life. Visualization is visualizing the life that you want. So you could already be in it and you could already be doing something, but you maybe want to have a promotion, or maybe you're an author and you want to visualize yourself selling more books, or you want to visualize yourself in a relationship, in a love relationship. Part of that work is just simply taking your mind and using it and visualizing what you want versus what you don't want. So let's go through a practice right now. And I'm going to ask you just to go ahead and close your eyes. Unless you are driving, don't do it. Don't close your eyes. And as you are allowing yourself to go deep within into your mind's eye, into your consciousness, I invite you just to begin to take a couple breaths. Let's inhale together. Inhale. And big exhale. Let's do that again. We take a nice deep breath in. Inhale. And exhale. And I want you to connect with something that you want to shift in your life for something greater. for a deeper experience, more expansive experience of something that's in your life. May it be work, may it be your creativity, relationship, your finances. It could be your body temple. Whatever it is, I want you to bring it into your mind's eye. Be with that. Now, I want you to make a conscious decision on how do you want to experience this part of your life at the highest experience possible. What do you want? What is the demonstration you want to have around this area in your life? Now, I want you to visualize it happening. If it's becoming a speaker, see yourself on stage speaking to thousands of people. If it's a demonstration of abundance in your bank account, what number is it? Visualize yourself going to your ATM or on your computer and seeing that number in your account. See your account. If it's a love relationship, see yourself right now. Visualize yourself with a partner, your ideal partner. See yourself on a date. See yourself laughing. If it's your body temple, see yourself in the activity of ease, of grace, of beauty, of a wonderful movement, pain-free, filled with vitality, flexibility. See yourself in that activity. Take a breath. Exhale. And repeat after me. Thank you, God. It is already done. Thank you, God. It is already done. Thank you, God. It is done. Now feel that energy. Feel the vibration. What are you feeling in your gut? What are you feeling in your heart? What do you feel in your body? See that energy and that vibration. See it radiating from you, from the center of you, radiating out into the universe. Now see it coming back because you are a magnet for that energy. See yourself receiving that energy back to you. Take a breath. Exhale. And open up your eyes and come back into the space.
Wow. I saw myself doing yoga with you on retreats on the beach.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And part of this is understanding we can use this incredible divine tool that will benefit us and have the demonstration. I stopped using that word manifestation. I shift from manifestation to demonstration. My senior minister at North Hollywood Church of Religious Science, a oneness center, says this all the time. We're not looking to manifest anything. We're looking to have a demonstration. Because manifesting really means bring something that is not even there, that we're manifesting it. For me, there was a little subtle shift of having a demonstration of God. And we live in a friendly universe, therefore we can have a demonstration of the friendly universe we live in. Even after we break up with Amazon.
Right. Yeah. Amazon is not the be all end all, right?
Amazon's not God. Amazon is not God.
I love that. Dr. Seuss says, don't just want it, have it.
Ooh. Ooh. Oh, we can go all day with this because Michael Beckwith said that you can only get what you're willing to become.
Exactly. Mhm.
Do you have another one? We can go all day, y'all. We can go all day with what we've learned and new thought. We can go all day. That was good, though. That was so good. I felt the energy. Did you feel the vibration in you? And then I think the key point of that meditation or the visualization is tap with the energy that's within you, see it radiating out from you, and see it coming back to you. That same energy coming back.
Mhm.
Law of radiance. We radiate.
Wow.
We become a magnet for it.
Right. And it felt very nurturing to me. It felt very loving.
Mm, mm,
So, so if we start to support ourselves in this manner, right, as opposed to like perhaps the criticism that the mind is so used to, that's part of retraining the mind.
So
Right?
let me ask you a question. How do we shift from, here's the thing. I get a lot of negative thoughts that come up, and I think that's part of the human experience. I don't say it's bad or good, it just is. Lower vibrational fear thoughts will come up.
Yes.
Um, and in your practice, how easy is it to shift from that negative to the higher vibrational energy that we want to experience, like our success? Because the mind can play games with us,
Hmm.
and you can stay in that spiral down energy to the lower vibration, or you can spiral up. How easy is it for you, or it might not be easy, or the shift? I'm talking about getting to that place where.
So for me, I think you know how some people are kinesthetic learners, right? They
Yeah.
have to literally move through an experience to have a shift or to understand or to embody. So I started working with that because fear had been present for me for so long, that it wasn't until maybe about 3 years ago I became aware of when I was afraid of doing something, of trying something out, and I realized that I would contract physically, literally. I would contract when I'm in fear. I get small. So then the practice became, can I literally and physically open up and lean in? As I would hear Reverend Michael saying that I live in a friendly universe.
Mhm.
And it's like, are you willing to test that theory? Are you willing to open up and step into the action that you're being called to do right now? And that
Mm,
was one way of me working with fear and getting
yeah,
to the other side.
yeah, yeah. I think one of the techniques, or not tools, one of the things that your mind will tell you, it won't get better.
Mhm.
I've heard a lot of clients say that to me. I just feel like it's not going to get better. Especially when you're dealing with grief, you're dealing with disappointment, you're dealing with that you've applied for another job and you heard no.
Mhm.
And the mind wants to tell you it's not going to get better. And I believe that is part of the ego wanting you to stay safe, and not go after that next job and put in the next application and go after the next experience so you just don't get hurt.
Right. So, and it's right. Whatever it is that you believe, you're right. It's not going to change. The universe says, yes, you're right.
Because, watch what you put after that mantra, I am. The greatest mantra we have is I am. So
Yeah.
whatever you put behind it is your truth. So if you walk through the door and say, I am tired, the universe says, yes, you are.
Yes, you are.
I am sick, the universe says, yes, you are. I am over this, the universe says, yes, you are. You're right. You're right. But if we start to, and here's in the mindset, y'all, mantra literally means tool for the mind. In
That's
Sanskrit,
it.
mantra is man is mind, tra is tool. So it literally means tool for the mind. So the mantra is created for us to shift this thinking here.
Mm-hmm.
And so we use the mantra, and I'm taking this from Deepak Chopra. The mantra is like a taxi cab. And back in the days, a long time ago, so we don't have taxis anymore, we have Ubers. So let's bring it up to this century. The mantra is like the Uber. You get into the Uber, you get where you need to go, and you get out the Uber. You don't stay in the Uber. So the mantra is to get your mind where it needs to go. And once you've had that shift, you can let the mantra go. The
Wow.
mantra is the most incredible tool that we have for shifting.
Mhm.
Literally saying, I am abundant, I am love, I am one, I am connected. These mantras, I am that I am. This brings me to the scripture that says, "Be not, do not be transformed, but be." Oh no, do not conform, do not be conformed, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. So
Yes.
the renewing of your mind is shifting your thinking, renewing of your connection with the one mind.
There you go.
Don't be in the world, be in the world, don't be of the world.
Mhm.
How do we, that this is all the stuff that we're learning here now. And it's becoming really huge, these lessons.
It is, right? So as for example, like when a man with a white coat comes out and wants to hand me a diagnosis, now automatically my mind goes, eh. I was
I
like,
I, I need you in my doctor's office, because you know what I had is so interesting. This happens to me all the time.
mhm,
I have great blood pressure, but when that doctor comes in to take my blood pressure, I my it's like, do you have high blood pressure? No.
oh,
I was in my doctor's actually my acupuncture. I do acupuncture every week, and they have to take, she goes, every time I come in here with the thing to do your blood pressure goes up. I'm going, I know.
I
And she
know.
says, it's your mind. Your
Yes.
mind is telling you something that you're going to have high blood pressure or whatever. It's
And the way I look at it is I have white coat syndrome. The second I see the white coat or something, it's like my blood pressure goes up.
hello now.
I'm like, I don't even know why I come to you because
You know exactly. I don't know why I come to you, but I'm here. So let's do what we need to do.
right?
It's powerful stuff. Denise
So
says, thank you for the visualization. You hit it for me. I had a light bulb moment. It was not trusting. Oh, I love that. It's the shift of knowing, trusting. It is a friendly universe. I love
yeah,
you, Denise. Thank you so much, Denise, for sharing that.
right. That's one of the things we have to retrain the mind
Mm,
from being in fear to cultivating an environment where it begins to trust and surrender and let go. And here's the thing: the second that whenever we're doing that deep breathing or whenever we come into our heart, it's like more of our soul comes into the body, and the mind feels a shift, and it's like, oh, the boss is home. I better behave. Right?
mm,
The mind will always surrender to the soul.
mm.
We just need to identify correctly and move from that place. Speak to the
Wow.
mind from that place of the soul. 'Cause
Mm,
it knows it's not bigger than the soul. The mind knows that.
wow. Ooh, powerful, powerful, powerful. So how do we now begin to use our mind around this retreat that's coming up? Because we're going to Bali, and
Mhm,
we're expanding our practice. You and I, we're taking a group of people to Bali. And so we are now looking to have a certain amount of people to come on this trip with us. How can we
mhm.
use our mind to have a demonstration of what we're looking to experience?
Similar to what you did, like in that process that you walked us through, it's like just drop into your body and feel what it will feel like to experience Bali, to be on the beach, to be doing yoga with Skip and myself, to be sitting and talking
Mm,
about these techniques and even visualize and sense and feel what it will be like to be in these temples, eating this real organic food,
mm, that's
feeling the sand within your toes, like really stepping into the experience.
mm, mm. I
Mhm,
feel it.
mhm,
I feel it. I feel it. So before we go into the mic drop, we call it the mic drop, but it's our vibe insight. I just want to say to you, you are a powerful manifester or demonstrator. I see it around you. I see you living your best life. I watch you go to Peru. Was it last year you went to Peru?
Yes,
In
no.
2024 in October. I was like, wow, she did that. And for me, I've always told myself why I can't go to Peru.
That's the mind.
Oh, that's the mind. I can't. I don't have time to go to Peru. And it's at the very top. I
Mhm.
want to go to Peru. I want to do ceremony with the shaman. It's at the very top of the places I want to go, but I've always talked myself out of it.
Yeah.
What would you tell me to stop? How would you tell me to stop talking myself out of Peru?
So the desire starts to rise up, and then the mind comes along and tries to squash it, and just tell your mind, I hear you, but we're going to try it another way, and just push it down, and allow the desire to continue to rise, and then take action from there.
Wow. Okay, I'm using that. I'm going to start using that, especially around Peru.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna start using that. So we have 2 trips to Bali, and then the next trip I want to do is Peru.
And I would love.
Yeah,
Yes.
let's do it. You know what? No, it is too. It's so funny because this is my vibe insight. How I don't want to use the word tricky,
Mm-hmm.
but if I'm not mindful of the mind and how it takes over, it's really sneaky.
It's
It
very.
happens. It's like, oh, I'm in that space. It's like this: choosing a trip, and I've gone to Croatia
Mm-hmm.
3 times for a music festival, and my friend is going back again this summer, and I was like, well, why don't I just go to Croatia?
Uh,
And my soul's going, but that's not where you really want to go. You've been to Croatia 3 times.
okay.
You want to experience something else, but it's part of feeling comfortable. I've
Yes.
been to Croatia before. I can go again. I know what I'm going to expect.
Mm-hmm.
Not to say that I won't go again, but it's not this year. I have other things I want that the soul's calling me forth to doing. So when I'm my vibe insights for this week is watch your mind.
Yeah.
It can deceive you in thinking you want something you really don't want something. That's my vibe insight.
And I love just the giving myself permission to have more and more of these experiences, right? So even though the mind is better trained now, why can't I become a yoga instructor? And where the heck did that just come from?
That is the first time I've ever heard you say that.
Exactly. I never, because the body tempo and what it's experienced, and all of a sudden, like that, it's shifting. It's like
You have never said these words before, Rev.
this is happening right now in real time.
Dang. And I always saw you as a yoga instructor.
Oh
I've always seen that.
my God.
Okay, so I'm going to piggyback something else on this. I
Okay.
always wanted to go through Sue Morter's yoga training, and I've always, let me tell you something. I've always said this. You've done 3 yoga teacher trainings already. You've done Yoga Fit, you've done Pure, you've done Wonderlust. You don't need another. I'm like, I just got a little, ooh, I'm always talking myself out of going through Sue Morter's yoga program.
Me too, because I feel I have limited movement in my body. But her yoga is, to me, one of the most transformative yogas that's available for us.
Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're saying it online. I'm going to commit. When we commit to something, I will explore it with you going through Sue's, I don't
Body
know,
body awake yoga. I love it, Skip. Oh my
body awake. And my mind's already going, how are you gonna afford that? You don't have time for that. I'm already
so do it. So you come and you're like, I hear you, but we're gonna try it this way.
Yeah. I told y'all this is the dopest practitioner session ever. We get the practice session ourselves, y'all. This is so freaking Amazing. We talked about the Bali trip. Rev, tell them where they can find out more information and what's happening this Sunday that's coming up.
So we actually have a informational Bali meeting on Zoom. So if you send me a message at cynthiaambries.org, I will forward the Zoom link to you. We're meeting Sunday at 6 p.m. Pacific time with our local retreat guide, Cricket, who lives in Bali. And he will be able to answer any questions that you might have about any subject about this retreat.
Yes.
Yes.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And where are you, or when's the next time you're speaking? Because I know you're in Las Vegas Center for Spiritual Living. When's the next time you're speaking?
And I actually don't have a date right now, but I am coming to LA in not this weekend, but the following. So I'll be at Agape on, I think it's the 23rd. So if you're there, find me, give me a hug.
Oh my goodness, the 23rd. If I might have to come, are you doing early morning? Are you doing the early morning service? I might just have to come and sit vigil with you because I got to get over to North Hollywood Church of Religious Science where I'm at that date as well. So, hey, y'all, you can find me at North Hollywood Church of Religious Science on a Wednesday night. We do something called the Wednesday Wake Up. It is really expanding. It's becoming one of the places to be on a Wednesday night at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can see it online on Facebook, or you can see it come live at North Hollywood Church of Religious Science. Go to nhcrs.org. We also have services twice on Sundays. You can come in at 9:45. That's our early one that goes out online. And then we have a rocking service at 11:30 as well, which is just in person, but it's so much fun. Please check it out. We also have a retreat that's coming up at the end of the month, and I should have had that date, but I think it's Saturday the 29th. We're having a half-day retreat with me. It's called Embracing Your Spiritual Practices, and that's going to be at North Hollywood Church of Religious Science. So go to that website and find out more information about that. And you can reach out to me. I got a brand new website, Rev, brand new website. It's amazing. skipjennings.com. Just go and find out more information about that. There's a line of t-shirts, there's some books coming and all that. Brand new website. It's very much like yours. I am so happy about that as well.
Wow.
Sign up for the newsletter. You can find out more information. And what is your handle on all the social media?
I am Cynthia Ambries.
Yes, she is.
On Instagram, TikTok.
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
you on all of them, right? You on all of them. And I am definitely, you can reach out to me at RevSkipJennings@gmail, and on all the socials, I'm Rev Skip Jennings. Please follow us. Please follow us. Please follow us. And come to Bali. It's going to be fun. It's going to be so much fun.
I have a request from a listener. She doesn't join us live, but she listens after she gets out of work. She would like us to do a Southern California retreat. So I told her I was going to bring that up.
That's a yes.
Okay.
And that's a yes. And we have this perfect space, and I can get us a deal. We could do a high vibe retreat in Southern California. You better believe it. Okay. See, we're having demonstrations of how good God is.
Exactly. So Maria, you're welcome.
You're welcome. And we just went out there. It's such a joy to be hanging out with you. I love you so much. Peace and blessings, darling. And everyone, remember, transformation is a choice. You can choose today. Namaste, y'all.
Namaste.
Namaste.
New Thought Media Network proudly presents The High Vibe Hour. The High Vibe Hour with Reverend Cynthia and Reverend Skip. Fridays at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. Only on New Thought Media Network.